Justice Department confirms that it's received a letter from some former Republican officials calling on them to investigate Elon Musk's program to pay some registered voters in swing states $1 million if they sign a petition sponsored by his political action committee. It's called unpacks. Signers of the petition are pledging their support for free speech and the right to bear arms, and daily prize winners are selected in a random drawing through Election Day. So 2 people in Pennsylvania have already been paid that $1 million each. Critics have questioned whether the daily prize drawing violates federal election law due to the fact that it's only open to registered voters in 6 swing states, including voters here in Nevada. So what is the federal law that Musk could be violating, and are his actions a violation of federal law? To break it all down for us, we have attorney Matthew Hoffman back with us from Battle-Born Injury Lawyers. And this is one that is getting a lot of talk online, especially, and also on many of the media outlets, because there's this question: is he in fact paying for these votes?
Yeah, I mean, so the law is, it's like 52 U.S. Code 10301, some election law. What the law says is that it is a crime to pay someone or to try to pay someone to register to vote. And it's illegal for somebody to be paid to register to vote. And it's up to 5 years in prison, $10,000 fine for each violation. Well, that would be millions and millions of violations by Mr. Musk if this held true. But what the law says is, look, you can't pay somebody to register to vote, but you can go door to door and encourage people to register to vote. You could, do those kind of activities. You could set up a booth and say, hey, here's the form, you can register to vote. But you just can't pay people to do it. That's the key distinction.
Yeah, and the drawing is, I guess, like a de facto payment, or at least the promise of it. People may be more apt to want to sign up for it, hoping they'll get this $1 million.
Yeah, and that's where I've heard some of the legal comments. They've kind of said, well, this is a gray area because he's not paying anybody to register to vote. What this is it's limited to people in swing states who are already registered to vote. They can sign this petition that basically says, I support the First and Second Amendment. And if you do that, you're put into a drawing. And then daily winners will get $1 million. So the argument, the gray area they're saying is, well, isn't that inducing people to register to vote? Because you're not eligible unless you've registered. Really what it's going to come down to from a criminal aspect is, what is the intent of Elon Musk? What is the stated intent? If he is dumb enough to have said that my intent is to get people to register to vote, then he's in trouble. I think the reality is, look what they get when you sign up for this petition. You have to fill out a form giving your full name, your address, physical address, your email address, and your cell phone number. You have to give that information to sign the petition. Well, that is extremely valuable data. Think about it. Swing state voters, registered voters in swing states, the super PAC can immediately push out ads to those people. You could package that information and sell it to polling places, to political parties. It's not like this data just suddenly dies after the election. You've got that forever. And there's a tremendous value in that, far in excess of whatever he's paying in these awards. So, at the end of the day, is it legal? It's going to come down to intent, is ultimately it. So as long as Elon Musk isn't dumb enough to say, I'm doing this to get people to register to vote, he's fine. Because he can just say, no, my intent is to get all this valuable data. We want to use this. We want to give materials. We want to sell the data, et cetera. That's totally legal, happens all the time, and I don't see any legal problems for Elon Musk.
It does happen all the time that people pay for that?
Absolutely.
Okay, how
very,
so?
very common. Well, you'll just see people, different companies, polling places, political parties, they will pay to get your data. We talk about we've talked about binding arbitration and Apple user agreements. If you sign up for this petition, there's going to be a consent box, and you're going to check it.
But I'm saying pay the voter directly.
You can't pay the voter directly.
Okay.
No. You could pay somebody like Trump, Musk's super PAC that has this data. They can package that and sell it.
So he could make a ton of money off of this potentially.
A ton of money.
What about when you talk about the gray area, some people worrying because he's basically ingratiating himself to these voters, and therefore they might feel like, well, because he gave me this opportunity, then I'm going to go with whoever he's supporting, which obviously he's a surrogate of Trump. could that be like a way to influence voters with money, knowing that you're tied to this candidate?
Yeah, I mean, that's obviously the concern. But again, there's no law against having prizes for people signing petitions. Where he's getting into the potential trouble is the fact that you have to be a registered voter, and they're worried about, are you paying for registered votes? So no, I don't think he's going to have any trouble there. I don't see any laws being broken, election laws being broken. I think it's a hostile environment right now, and so one side of the aisle is looking at this saying, this might work. I don't like it. I think is what's coming down to.
I wonder
honestly.
if it'll change laws down the line, though, because they maybe never
might.
thought about this, and now this has happened. Maybe they're saying, how do we prevent this from happening again? Thank you so much, as always, for joining us.